Now let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Play ball!
Chelsea yesterday played a 2-goal, won the game yesterday and won that game comfortably by 2-0. Even though that the American boys tried to put up a fight, but they couldn't match Chelsea firepowers. Jackson started the game, but DELAP came into the game and had an assist, beautiful assist, that lovely cross from Enzo to trap.
You go know.
Beautiful goal, game all around for Chelsea.
It was a fantastic game. Looking at the game, you saw how they wanted to control the game. You saw how they wanted to play the game. Though Los Angeles restricted them to some areas of the pitch. You saw the way Los Angeles kind of defended and tried to attack. Though they didn't create nothing. They were trying to create something out of nothing, but they didn't create nothing, and they just went on like that. And Chelsea creating something out of nothing was one of those things you say, wow, this player is this and this and this and that. And it vindicates Maresca for saying he's the future of the English 9, because look at the way he played. Came in less than
he was making runs.
Less than
I love the runs that he was making.
It was not be the same runs that Sancho make when he joined Chelsea. New
Sancho make run, but Sancho now that on that always Sancho make.
I'm here. You see me, all this ginger, all this vibe, all this energy.
John,
me, I'm shy here for the fallout.
John, you know say me. I know the hype player. You know say me. I don't go hype person for beginning of season. We go end for the end of the day.
You wear hype Sancho when he joined Chelsea.
Me,
yes.
Me,
yes.
God, you there now? They keep quiet. Baby witness.
You wear hype Sancho.
Me don't say the Chelsea fans. They thought say Sancho. I tell you say they go. No worry, Sancho go show them waiting. They can be Sancho, and he show them. I see if you good from beginning, whether you good to this, now just say some players I know they too hype like that, the likes of Yamal and the rest of them. But if you good from beginning, I see him. I go from beginning, announce him, say this guy he good for the future, he did. And less than 30 minutes of football, less than 40 minutes of football, he had an assist to his name. Okay. He created at least 4 chances. Better than the person that started. The person who started 60 minutes created at least 2 chances or so. You come in less than 30 minutes, you created at least 3 or 4 chances. It tells you the kind of intelligence.
Before we talk about it, Jackson created the first goal.
Thank you.
Leave that thing. I tell you, he creates more.
I don't say you want to use this one now. Person will not play full season, and that's why they say. Footballers know they evaluating and get now shiny object syndrome, and they worry football fans. Shiny object syndrome. DELAP now is the new shiny object in Chelsea's back room. That's why all these plaudits, the last 15 minutes, you just use it now. They talk about DELAP. He create this, he create that one. You don't remember Jackson or OG where they there?
Nobody talks say Jackson, but he gets 60 minutes. Why he no score?
Why this guy no score?
Thank you.
15 minutes.
He came in 65 minutes. He played 65 minutes.
I say less than 30 minutes.
This is
less than 30 minutes. He played less than 30 minutes and he had an assist. So if you can't give him 60 minutes, what is he go do?
That game was interesting. Well, how Maresca set up his team. He played Palmer as that blue number 10 behind the striker.
They only beg and since.
Yeah, so
they only beg and since. Play this guy.
Was actually playing as a DM in that game. I didn't know why. Probably he's trying to try new things.
Of course.
In that game, James started at the right back. Cowell, Cucurella, and all that. Neto scored the first goal. Played 90 minutes. That means Neto probably is going to be trusted.
Neto Madeke, look at that formation, that combination down the flanks.
Neto playing that 90 minutes shows that probably trusted more than all his wingers in that team. But good game, general for Maresca. His tactics are probably, even though they played a smaller team in America, the main challenge will be when they go advanced to probably the knockout stage of this competition. They start meeting.
When they start meeting Bayern Munich and the PSG, and they will not know that they are good. They will not know whether they did or they didn't do. But truth is, set up and have quality on your bench. We're not saying have 5-star rated players. We're not saying have world-class players on your bench.
Why can't you have 5 world-class players on your bench?
See, understand what I'm saying.
Why can't you have
not start world-class and have world-class on the bench? You're not Real Madrid. You're not Man City. At the moment, you're not Bayern Munich. You're not PSG. Even PSG says no get world-class.
Chelsea fans.
Understand the difference.
I need you guys to turn up now.
Understand the difference. Quality.
Okay.
Now, when you show quality over time, you can be world class.
Let's talk about the quality.
On the bench.
Wait, let me talk about the bench.
Quality, not be world class. Quality
the thing
on the bench.
Interesting about Chelsea again, he introduced Nkunku in that game. That means Nkunku might stay at Chelsea.
Another quality.
Oh yeah.
Another quality.
Because he had the new signings like Sa that they brought in. Sa did not play. Look, even Esugo played in that game. He played about 5 minutes in that game. But if you look at their bench, George entered and he played well from that wings. You know, yesterday somebody was saying that he's a
George,
he played from that wings. If you look at their bench, bench Japan now.
Quality.
Yes, he get quality for bench.
No be world class quality.
They get quality for bench.
Those quality where they thought they get for bench now. Nah, what's the color? Inferior quality.
No, you cannot call it inferior quality.
No, now because okay, fine. Let's go there. Since you say cannot call it inferior quality, let's go there. Jackson is starting. DELAP is supported. That's quality. That's let's say per quality, average quality. No, not be super quality, but now quality. DELAP for Jackson. Nkunku for Jackson. You see as he do last season. I almost hyped the guy. He didn't deliver. And I hyped him.
You hype him.
I hype him.
With your full chest.
I hype him.
Only
but I know hype him like world class. I know say I just don't say that player will say go there for you when everybody know there for you. But he didn't deliver. You get? Now, is it a quality? Inferior quality. No be original. You go Terry George. Now quality but he never be original yet. You never reach that. So you go. Let's say now in midfield yesterday night, the only quality they had on the only quality that looks like world class they have on that bench yesterday, because look at the way they started Lavia and Moses and Palmer. So the only world class quality that they had on that bench as of yesterday was probably Enzo.
Enzo was there.
Enzo
was
is
there.
See, I just want to make a statement. You know, while we are having this conversation about quality, no quality, let's put things in perspective. This is a side Chelsea should be blowing out 6-0.
Now that's what I said they lose yesterday. First of all,
that's one. Then two, talking about quality, Chelsea have turned themselves into Brighton, where you assemble wannabe prospects, wannabe potential, and how many of them actually turn out to be the main potential at the end of the day? If you look at that bench, I'm only seeing Enzo Fernandes, DELAP,
DELAP, and Gusto, Malo Gusto,
and Kunku,
and maybe Chalobah. These are the only four players that
if you call Chalobah, then Nkunku did then 5.
No, Nkunku no follow. The rest of the other players are just I really don't know who they are and what they are doing at that club.
That George tried yesterday,
even said from sorting this, but played well. So
Andre Santos didn't even get any.
Yeah, Santos was the captain for Salzburg at some point.
Yes.
But generally, if you look at, I think Chelsea, players are still coming in though.
That's the thing though.
So player
choke, squad plenty. We are still back to Groundhog Day all over again at Chelsea, because at the end of this transfer window, we will be seeing 70-75 players at Chelsea and no exit so far.
Okay, don't worry. Players
let's not forget that Joao Felix no follow them come this movement.
Players go, no worry.
Men no follow them. Other men no follow them come this movement. You understand me? So I still feel that the squad is still bloated. That 9, they will sign in that 9 again.
We are talking that Calabar boy.
Go and mark it somewhere.
That Calabar boy.
It's a spoiler.
That Calabar boy is still there for the team too. He follow them travel. Achipong.
Yeah, he's still there for the
team. He's there for the team and a good player.
Even Santos did not play that game.
And the Santos no fit play where he want play.
That's what I'm saying.
Now Carabao Cup, he go dey play. Carabao Cup,
all these other guys. Look at what I'm feeling, right? I feel that as they progress in this competition, let's say you play the basic games in the group, the final last game, they will give them to play. Yeah. But they will see more games when we enter pre-season proper after this tournament.
Okay. What if at the end of the day, after you come now, after the game week 2, because that's what everybody's thinking. After game week 2, they've won 2, is remaining 1 now. After game week 2, 3 people in that group have 6 points.
It's impossible, but let's see.
How is it impossible? After game week 2, everybody has 6 points.
Let's see what happens with
except for one team.
Chelsea, but for yesterday, DELAP, I think DELAP showed. John is saying that they're going to buy number 9. They have to say either Jackson or Pat. They cannot say DELAP now, so that's Jackson to because Gui is still there.
Gui is there.
Yes.
Nkunku is still there and played. So if you are going to sign on that striker, you need to sell like 2 players, which is going to be tough.
Chelsea will sell.
If it's one, I'm not worried about Nkunku. Nkunku playing is a plus for the club because they can attract people that will come and take him off Chelsea's hand. That's not a problem.
But we have argued this on this show, John. DELAP and Jackson, 2 strikers is enough. And
it's not good enough.
Probably Guyi is enough to tell Chelsea.
If you want, if your aspiration is finish top 4 and then crash out of every competition in Europe,
we have talked about this before. If you have 2 strikers, the one will play, one will sit on the bench. We don't play with 2 striker position. You play with one. You can
I am not Todd Bowley. Todd Bowley is going for etiquette. Todd Bowley is going for other strikers.
If they are going to buy another striker, either they move Jackson to the wings.
I'm not even against them selling Jackson. My own is I'm telling you that they are still in the market for a 9.
All these things are just rumors. But DELAP
not be Chelsea again.
They are still in the market for a goalkeeper.
Not be Chelsea
again. They are
still
in the market for centre back. They are still in the market for wing backs. They are still in the market for what's it called, midfielders. Still.
Let's not even forget that in that goalkeeping position, no quality on the bench.
Jorgensen have not played for Chelsea. You cannot say it's not quality.
If his quality will be starting for Chelsea.
Yes, that means somebody is better than him.
Thank you.
You cannot have Peter Cech and Courtois in a team.
What? Go and talk to clubs that have 2. Go and talk to clubs that have 2.
Show me now, as I'm talking to you, tell me what one club that have 2 world-class keepers playing on that team. Tell me.
Oh wow!
I told them on the bench because
all of them have to be on the bench.
and it's on the bench playing. No?
One has to be good, very good. One has to be
exceptionally good.
That's how it works.
The other one just has to be just good.
The only time it happened is when Peter Cech and Courtois came in. Courtois came back on loan from Atletico Madrid. Murillo bench Peter Cech. Peter Cech did it for only once and told him
they go. And if you did
2 world-class keeper, and we have to make a choice. He loved Peter Cech because he's his boy. But Courtois at that point was
exceptionally good. Exceptional, not just good, very good. It was exceptional.
He had played 2 seasons because of Cech. He had dropped Courtois had played 2 seasons already as a goalkeeper. Courtois was at Atletico for 2 years for loan, so you just have to play him. The point is that you need a good goalkeeper and a very good goalkeeper on your team. You cannot have 2 world-class keepers. That's what I'm just trying to explain. Buying Mike might let go.
Even Petrovic safe.
But saying that Jorgensen playing for Villarreal first team football for almost 3 years as number 1 is not
even good. If you like may play on 5 years.
But for Chelsea,
even like may play on 15 years.
But Chelsea, let's see. But Chelsea has probably, if they decide to buy a goalkeeper, they probably one of them has to be either Sanchez or Jorgensen. One of them have to leave. But
this is.
But for now, let's see what happens with Chelsea. You know, we can banter out Chelsea.
Petrovic should just find a permanent signing somewhere else.
But Petrovic, no, my Petrovic.
We don't need loan, so make it just go permanently. Then we'll not start doing shuffle.
Boy.
We'll not start shuffle from get.
You have to find a way.
Go loan. Normally loan.
You have to be loaning all this player, but Chelsea will decide. Maresca finally is going to decide who is going to stay at the club for next season. But obvious player that is going to leave Sterling is going to leave. Sancho has already left for back to Manchester United. Chilwell is going to leave. A whole lot of players.
Chelsea dodged the bullets.
A whole lot of players is going to leave at Chelsea. Remember, Estavo is going to come back play
after the World Cup.
So a lot of players. Chelsea have a whole lot of players though. But let's see if their squad is good enough for them to challenge for the Premier League next season. I don't know if it's going to be a good enough, but for me, for DELAP played well yesterday, and he gave good showing yesterday, and finally he got an assist in that game.